Don't do this very often. So the reason for the stream tonight and that would be again. One more time. Not bad. So, a long time ago, I was asked for a tutorial for Insanity. And the thing is, it really doesn't need much of one. The melodies are pretty easy to figure out. That whole... yeah. But that's tuned to a regular guitar. I mean, that's tuned to standard pitch. All the melody, guitars, plus the lead stuffs. Everything there is standard. The only thing that's not standard is the tuning for the primary acoustics going on in the background. Because that's an A minor, or excuse me, an E minor in every other sense. That may look like a D, but it ain't a D. Because this is an altered tuning. I wouldn't say that this is the easiest thing in the world to do, but most of it is just like, here, play this chord, then that chord, and then, it's like a 2-chord grouping, then another 2-chord grouping, and then, for things like this, you could do that. Or you could even, if you preferred, but I think that's harder to do. And even then I can screw it up, but... So the point of this whole thing, that's a nice little spot right there. I can't really pop it either. It's got sunshine shining in. Just neat. Anyway, so what I was going to say, though, is, and this is kind of interesting to me, the whole thing is just the alternate tuning is the only thing that really matters to make this thing possible. And I've seen tabs for this. I want to tell you now that in every single case, the tabs are wrong. Use your ears, figure it out for yourself, but this is not... playtime. They got it tabbed wrong. Like, for instance, this one, well, that's the sound. And you have to do that right, of course. But that's the sound. Now, the thing about tabs it's what somebody else figured out, and if they figured it out wrong, it's their problem. But I've seen tabs which are like in standard tuning with it, playing that thing here, which is not going to be right on this guitar right now, but it sounds great though, I gotta say. And everything works until you get to the rest of the chords. And then it's like, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. And you can clearly tell they're picking it. Yeah, that. it's an alter tuning, especially when you get down to this. Yeah. It just doesn't work any other way. So what's the tuning? E, D, B, so essentially the second fret. E, B, E, A. So I've been saying it before. It's kind of like a dadgad tuning, but tuned, with a capo here, and it's essentially right, but it's not the same. So tune those 3 strings up a whole step. Again, B, E, and A, and man, you got it. No problem. So we start out with this. We're gonna hit this open D a lot, which is now an open E. And that's just what looks like a D major shape, or in this case it'd be a G major shape. 7, 8, 7, 8, and 7 again. And just repeat that pattern. This is a little weirder. 4, 7, 5. Changes a little. 3, 5, 7 to 3, 5, 5. Just like that, but he doesn't do that twice, just does it once, so. Right. 3, 3, 5. And I heard this wrong on my own instrumental cover of this, where I did. Now, I thought that sounded right, but it didn't always sound quite right to me, especially after I was recording it. What sounds right is this. And that's it. That's it. That's the sound. Oh my God, I wish I could redo it. I could redo it. I'm not going to redo it. I had hair, cool looking guitars. Yeah, no. Anyway, so this 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 5, 3, 3, 5, 3, 2, 3, 3, excuse me, 2, 3, 3. So, and that's it. So we're going to play that all together. Then down to here. Which also works, by the way. I don't think it's quite right, but I do think you get that sus sound. Not exactly. Nah. My fingers wanted to cooperate, but that's essentially it. Then we're going down to a... So what is that? You're just kind of slopping around, but you're doing it rhythmically, and you're hitting some notes up here. But this is essentially on the 2 center strings, if you got a 6-string guitar. What would now be the middle E and the A strings. Normally the D and the G. On the 5th fret, just hold down these 2 guys. You can have an open A on that one, which is now a B. 5, 4, same 2 strings. Which would normally be an A sus chord, but this is basically just holding down fret 2 and fret 2 of the 2 middle strings. Then you're going to what looks as if you're on, what is that, a C chord, really. And that would be a C9. But it's not it. So we're not even going to pretend we're talking chords here, but it looks like one. 3, 2, from the A string. 3, 2, open, 3, And you're going to leave the high E open as well. Yeah, that's fine. That's the sound of the chord, so. Either way, work with it. Or you can even pause it there, which is fine. So that would be 2 0 0 3. For open 2 0 3. Open again, and then go back down. Then the last bit, 0 2 0 0 2. Then there's that really, really neat bit, like you're jumping out of an airplane without a parachute, and it's glorious. Something like that. Open string here, that D string, which is now an A string again. Subsequent to that, though, 6 7 7. And you're just going to hit this all open. Okay. Take that down to 4 5 5. 11 12 12. So 9 10 10. Then you got to shift it up a little bit. And you can do it a couple of different ways. I prefer it this way, which is 8 10 8. And then you're settling here, which would be 7 9 7. So now after that is a tough part. It's not really tough on the left hand. It is in one spot. And it's not really tough on the right hand, but it is in one spot. So an email. Let's check that. Available on the schedule. Let's see. Before I get the schedule, I have a couple of questions for you. Am I currently working with a realtor? I can answer those questions, and I will. This is fun. Hold on a second. I'm not even going to do that there. I am not. This is the beginning of a search for me. Will be divorced within a couple of months, and I am looking for a place on my own. Timeline to move would be really sooner than later, but I'm willing to wait up to 60 days. In other words, I need to be out of the house by August. Not artist, August. August. I don't want to live here much longer if I can. Oh, say that. That sounds terrible. It would be preferential for me to be out before September for sure. At any rate, as far as loan pre-approval goes, I literally just started the search. I'm fairly certain that my bank will clear me for something like this because I bought my house for not much less than this 14 years ago. I can still cover it. There you go. So, oh, hey, Zuhair, what's up? I don't know when you got there. I'm sorry, I was talking with the potential realtor. I am learning, everybody, today the acoustic backing track parts to Insanity from King Diamond. And I know some people are going to be very happy about that. I hope you're one of them. So if you want to grab a guitar, any guitar would be fine. We're going to tune you differently. We're going to have a low E, yes. A high E, yes. But things change a little bit after that. Well, the B string's the same too. So what we got here? You're going to tune this guy from A to B, this guy from D to E, and this guy from G to A. So basically tune these 3 strings up a whole step. And that's that. So, as I was saying before, well, you know, I did get bronchitis and I was pretty well knocked out, but I got a Z-Pack going, and today is day 3 of that, and I woke up this morning feeling pretty freaking good. So, I still have some congestion, I still have a bit of the cough, but yeah, I'm almost 100%. I'm doing really well. And I got a lead on a house, so, and it's an accommodating property, and for not very much. So that makes me it's more than my house, but it makes me very happy. If I can get into that thing and be there for a couple of years, I'd be good. The past few weeks with a YouTuber friend where he pointed out how annoying I was being. But let's see you play. Don't want to annoy you too. I think you're fantastically annoying. You can annoy me anytime. So... and then... Oh, no. Dang it. That's actually kind of hard. I'm not even sure that is exactly the way they're fingering it, but this... I'm sure of that. Maybe. But to me, that's harder to do. Maybe I should do it that way. You know, I haven't played it in a few years. I had it down at the time, but... No. And then there's no differences after that. That is literally the entire thing for Insanity, for the backing track. And it's not bad if you can memorize these chords. And I'm not even sold on that. It might just be... I did mention during that thing. Thank you, by the way. During that cover video, that I think I got one note wrong in a chord. I think that was it. I know this to here is definitely right, but it could still be. The thing is, I think this tension is correct, and then to the resolution. Tension, resolution. Tension, resolution. I think that's right. I can tell you what's definitely wrong. It's not this. It It doesn't retain that tension. This goes back one. It's a fifth. For sure. In other words, the tabs are wrong. But the tabs are also wrong because they think this. I don't hear that. So, yeah. It's just not right. Just not right. No adoption? No. What a bunch of crap. Well, it's probably because you left your phone here. Oh, go put them away. That sounds terrible. Go take them home. We had some of our fosters up for adoption today. They didn't get adopted. Just remember that part. That's pretty much it. It's, again, 787 to 475. Then 357. 355. These are just the chord shapes you're going to be going over. 335. And 233. After that, you get this. 3, it's A string now. 3, 2, 0, 3, open. And that's a little different. Open 2, 0, 3, let go of it. Zero, 2, 0, 0, 2. One of these days I'll just figure out what the chord names are and go for it with that. But I know chord names based on shapes, based on standard tunings. It's much easier to just figure stuff out like that. This, I can tell you somewhat what these things are. So this would be actually a D. Not a D. Yes, D, C sharp, and then B, but because that's just what the tuning is, but still. Insanity from the album called The Eye from King Diamond. It's a great tune. I'll wait till you hear the other stuff to it. There's like a... How do they go? Yeah. Ah, yes. Yeah, yeah. I'm just kind of winging it because I haven't played it for a long time. Then there's some harmony stuff. Something like that. This guitar, I think, ran me about... I can't remember how much I paid at the time. It wasn't $400. It was not more expensive than that. Let's look one up. Sweet. It's a Breedlove Discovery, so it's cheap. And it plays great, sounds really good, and it's very small. It's a 23 3/4 inch scale. It's even smaller than a Les Paul. It's technically termed like a parlor guitar. It's a small-bodied instrument. But I wanted a parlor guitar because they usually have a particular sound. This captures that pretty well, but it just sounds to me like an old, seasoned acoustic. You know, it's a little higher end, you know, a higher indie in the sound, but and a little less bassy than like some of the Martins and stuff. But it sounds really good, and you can EQ that out. Let's take a look though, and I will get you right onto the Breedlove stuff. Love. And I do really recommend them. I love this guitar. It's probably my favorite acoustic. Oh, hi there. How you been? So, see, someone pointed out to me recently, you won't like a 3/4 size acoustic. Doesn't matter what they say. It's a matter of what you do. Do you like it or not? If you checked it out, you may be surprised. I really like my electrics at 25 and a 3/4 inch scale. This has 12s, or I think I put 12s on it, and it feels a bit like an electric. It has a very nice feel to it, but it feels like an electric that's just a little shorter than your standard. But because the tension is there, it's just got a nice resonance to it. It feels really, really good. So let's do price low to high and share that screen. There we go. And you can get Breed Love cases. There you go. So this is essentially this one. Essentially. Yeah. And look, for $100 more, you can get a cutaway. Isn't that nice? There you go. $400. Done. And that's essentially this. Plays really well. I didn't have to do anything with the frets. See, they cheapened out, though. They didn't do a proper scarf joint on the neck. That's the only thing, is that this is definitely a low cost to make instrument. That is the easiest way to make a tilt back headstock with very small pieces of wood. So let's see, though. If I were to do this again, I am a sucker for a burst, but I'm also a sucker for, black. Oh, I can be like Ingve and get the white one. But I'm not tempted right now because, marriage fell apart. I'm moving, all that kind of stuff. But in fact, I might be buying a house. I was thinking that I was going to be renting. So I've been looking at a lot of rentals lately. But I found a house that's for sale that's not bad in an area that I know, in a bigger city that I know, for not much more than I paid for this house. I could get into it. I actually could buy it and not worry about, how much money I'm spending a month, because it's almost what I'm doing now. So life ain't bad. Life ain't good. Like a roller coaster. I've been sick, and that sucked. And I got really psychologically low on that too. But everything's much better now. Much. So you'd want a single cutaway acoustic. Friend, you let you know how cutaway isn't the right term for acoustics since they aren't made that way, but they are. You rent, pay money monthly to someone else, so you might as well pay monthly for your own house. Yeah, there's an equity problem in that. So if I were to rent, I would be able to more easily move in 2 years. That's what I'm looking at. But if I were to rent for 2 years, and when I say move to Arizona, I am out of this state. It's a thing. But what I wanted to do is rent. If I have to buy, because it looks like the market is tending towards, in my case, buying would be more cost effective, I would then have to sell that house before I moved to Arizona. So I don't want to do that, but I can. Better now? Yeah. Life is a little bit. Well, I'd say it's pretty good today. So, let's take a look at the cutaway on this. And I think you'll find that it is kind of made that way. Yes, you're still getting the stop here, but you can go up here farther. It's there. It makes it a little more convenient for your hand and your wrist. So that's why those are there. This I don't like, though. Why did you put this here? This is a strap button. Why did you put it here? It doesn't matter too terribly much. All I wanted was an acoustic that I could get over 12th fret access. I do like the sound of this. But yeah, these are cheap. Very, very inexpensive. Very nice. If I were to do it again, I'd probably go this route. Even if you don't want to because a friend of yours said something. You sold your acoustic. Hey, I know somebody who could have bought it. He's right above you. But good for you. Now that you've sold it, you need to get another one. so we can play together some King Diamond. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and go back to the main. But yeah. Again, the whole purpose of this stream right now was to teach and get that out of the way. So, again, it should be. Yeah, that just sounds right. I don't think that doesn't have enough tension. So hi, Bill. Bill, tuning. E, B, E, A, B, E. Anybody following along at home? Please tune your guitars to that tuning. I have a new cup. I bought myself a divorce present. I am the cat father. Nice honey green tea. Yes, good evening, sir. Good evening. Again with this is King Diamond's Insanity. But I'm only teaching the parts that are underneath everything else. So when it comes time to the... Yeah. No, it is that. Something like that. I don't remember. It is A. Yes. Yeah. It's hard to do it with an alternate tuning. I mentioned that before. When it comes down to alternate tunings, I'm kind of a crazy recluse dude. It's not, how can I put it? It's not something I'm completely used to. But, and so it's really hard for me to figure out. I know this is an E minor chord. Doesn't look like one, but it's an E minor chord. And it breaks my brain when I have to think of stuff like this. Now, I know that on a regular tuned guitar, it would be here. Which I can tell you is essentially F sharp minor, but it ain't regular tuning, so that ain't what it is. So. Gothic All Night. I don't know what that is, but it sounds great. Well, hi, though. I know, it's a surprise. I don't usually ever stream on Fridays. I'm usually watching Razorfist stream on Fridays, but I don't know. I felt like it. And most of the folks were out of the house, so, wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, was out of the house, and my daughter was out of the house with her. Christian's at work, so all is well. Actually, Bill, Stewart asked about you earlier. Asked if I was keeping up with you. Are you doing okay? Now that other people are saying, "Are you been okay?" I'm like, "Are you okay?" So lovely, isn't it? I gotta work on that transition. It's just down pick. Maybe I should do it that way. I will tell Stu you are as twisted as ever and give him a big old hug. I should do it that way. Yeah. See, I remember having to practice that too. Like, yeah. Yeah. And like I was saying, that's essentially it. So let's tune it back, shall we? I miss tuning. Yes, it is a Breed Love. Nice cheapy Breed Love, too. And that's still out of tune. So, wait a minute. There it is. There it is. So I took it down a little far. Oh, but you asked if it's completely acoustic. Yeah, there's no electronics or anything. That's what the microphones are for. Put her on down here, and I get rid of that, and I start doing things like. Wrong. You know, having fun with it. It's funny you asked that. I have 3 of them. Let me grab one. No, I have a whole day out of the house planned. I will not be here. In fact, I'm going to be leaving the house sometime around the time that I would normally get prepping for streaming, and I will be at one of my destinations approximately 8 a.m. Well, okay, hold on. There's different ways you can take different things. And remember, the way you take something is literally up to you. I was in a grocery store the other week, and I informed a lady that she was cutting in line. And I did it in a way that I just did it to another lady before who decided to try to cut in line. And it was really simple. I basically said, hey, excuse me, ma'am. The line starts back there. And the first one was like, oh, terribly sorry. Should have looked. And of course, that's fine. That's the way she took it. I said exactly the same thing while walking up to, because the space just opened up. This lady decided to walk right in. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am. The line starts back there. And I walked right around. She said, wow, that was harsh. And I said, you can take it how you want to. Don't care. So, dude, it's up to you. It's really up to you. And it's up to your mood. Do you want to pick a fight today? Because I'd love to pick a fight today. Let's see here. Let me show you guys this one. Because this is a treasure. A treasured treasure with provenance and a little dust. last time I pulled this out was too long ago. It is a handmade classical that was made for a person back in the late 80s, early 90s. I've got all the paperwork for it too. It is not cheap back then, and it wouldn't be cheap now. It was given to the best friend, his best friend, when he died. And that best friend was a very dear friend of mine's dad, who also passed away and gave it to his son. Well, he never really played it, and he wanted it to go to a good home, and I told him that I'm not going to keep it. I will hold it for him indefinitely. So this is like the nicest. The last time I really played it was for the Diary cover. Might change the strings on it though soon. So it's a little E flat right now. Yeah, you want to fight? I'll go for it. There we go. The construction is very interesting. Yeah, the shape of the build is all very, very similar. But there are very distinct differences between like a classical guitar and modern steel and all that. No, they don't all sound the same. I have a proclivity towards cedar tops. This is no exception. And cedar tops sound much more similar than, say, fir tops or, whatever you want to put in. Sides do matter. You'll get more high end out of something with harder woods. This, I believe, is just mahogany or walnut. Yeah, I think that's walnut. And, the neck would be mahogany, but it's a lovely, lovely mahogany. It's also very well carved. It's an extremely comfortable neck. Nice ebony fretboard. But I do want you to notice this. And this is common for a classical build, that the neck is actually slightly askew this way. Just slightly. It's set in thusly for more proper ringing of the strings. It's not what we would expect. Of course, you got to know I don't have, what are those things called? Nails! I don't have those right now. No, I don't have the super chat option yet. I am not monetized. Thank you, though, for that. Chords are formed like so. That's a chord. So what is a chord? Yeah, it's just easy, no problem. So yeah, so what's a chord? Da that sounds terrible. That doesn't sound terrible, but this does. If you did it this way. I still have Patreon, but I also have a Subscribe Star, and the Subscribe Star I would prefer to be using. I probably should just do some sort of like, here's PayPal. Give me money. That's a joke. But if I were to say... chord construction. The cat father. No shit. Yes. I got that as a pharmacy. The day I went to see a doctor. I went to see a doctor on Wednesday about the bronchitis that I had. Gave me a Z-Pack and cough suppressant, which I didn't need to take, but that's cool. So as I was in the store, I was dropping off my prescription. I'm only getting it once. It's not a subscription. I saw that cup and I'm like, oh my God. I haven't bought a coffee cup in a long time. And that's me. And it's got paw prints all on one side, but the other side is like, a man can be a dad, but it takes someone special to be a cat father. So trying to be it takes someone special to be a cat father. I could do kind of that, I guess. My Brando impression. I don't really have a Brando impression. Brando didn't even have a Brando impression. On with the story, though. So let's talk chord construction, because that is kind of a common thing. The very first time I took a glance at guitar lessons from my mentor, Kevin Dwyer, he had heard me play, thought I was pretty good. I had heard him play. I thought he was freaking phenomenal. And he said, well, tell me, let me know. I'm just asking you some questions here. How long have you been playing? 4 years. Okay, yeah, that's great. Can you spell an A minor 7 chord? And I said, A-M-I-N-O-R, F-C-V-E-N-T-H. He said, I know right where to start you. And so it's called chord spelling. So what is chord spelling? Chord spelling is how chords are formed. This is just one way of saying the formula for a chord. And it's all based off of the major scale. And that's not a joke. Scales and chords go together. Melody and harmony go together. Chords and harmony, they're all pretty much the same. All a chord is a harmonized, taking specific notes and harmonizing them together from a scale. That's it. That's all it is. So if I did this, it's an arpeggio, right? Well, it's a basic triad, really. Played arpeggiated. Another way. It's in the description. Well, it used to be. Oh, the PayPal is not the description. No. Actually, I misread that. I was thinking Patreon. It should be in the description. But PayPal? What's my PayPal? You want me to just go ahead and spell it out? I mean, it's my personal PayPal. I kind of prefer to just have a regular old, like a business PayPal account. But it's fullguitard@gmail.com. FULLGUITARD. Don't see it. Send it on Discord. Well, why? I just told everybody in the world what it is, so I think you're catching up on that now. So if anybody's watching and interested in not charging me money, but sending me cash, I'd be happy to take your cash. And please do it in a sense that I can be helpful in the process. Like, so what I was saying about this though is to spell a chord. All we're doing is taking a scale. G major, very convenient. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Now that we have those notes, that's all great. Let's talk about what they mean in the scale. This is the first note. It's called a 1, an octave, a root. Not an octave. Well, it's not an octave yet, but it's a root. It's like the fundamental. It's the tone. This is where the main gist of the sound of the scale is coming from. This is it. It's the 1. After that is a 2. Now, this is just a regular old 2. It's not a flat 2. It's not a sharp 2. It's a 2. So it's just kind of a natural 2. And there's other words for these too, but we'll just go ahead and kind of gloss over that. And we'll just say that this is the 2. Or a second, for that matter. So you have a first, or a root, second, third. And this is not a flat 3. So like a first, second, flat 3. No. First, second, third. Natural third. This is your mediant. It's right there. So we have a 1, 2, and a 3. A first, a second, a third. A root, a second, a third. Okay? Major third. Not a minor third, but a major third. Well, why is a minor third a minor third? It's because you take that major third and you flat it. It's also known as a flat 3. 1, 2, minor 3. 1, 2, major 3. Fourth, also known as a perfect fourth. Because that sounds really good together, but there's other reasons for that. The next note is a fifth. Perfect fourth, perfect fifth. If you played an octave, and you played a fourth down from the octave, that's the shape of a fourth. Well, you're still playing root 5, but it's kind of different, isn't it? It looks like a 4, even though you're playing this. But you're not. Cool, huh? Wait, it gets better. Then there's your major sixth, your submediant, your not flat 6, no, we're not playing harmonic minor, or harmonic major here. Right there, very nice. Your typical, 5 to 6, root 5, root 6. First, second, major third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, major sixth, or natural sixth, natural 7, octave. Okay, based on this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, octave. Sounds familiar? Okay, give me a second here. Dude! Thanks, man. I'll try to make sure that this is $5 worth of material for you. Okay, so all right. So what did I say? Chords are formed. Well, no, I didn't say that. I started to say that. This, I was explaining the intervallic structure of a major scale, of any scale, really. But the point would be to get the note values, like not G. It could be A. It could be, we could start it on E flat. We could start it on Q sharp. Doesn't exist, but we could start it there. And this whole bit. Thanks, dude. The shapes are going to be the same. Anywhere you go, what's major is major. What's Ionian is Ionian. And the only thing that changes is the names of the notes that you're going to be playing them on. So in this case, it's G. This is A, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and so forth. So the names of the notes change, but the value of the note doesn't. It's a first, a second, a third, a major third, a perfect fourth, a perfect fifth, a perfect sixth, a major sixth, a natural 7, and any of these, by the way, that are called major could also be called natural. So Ionian, yes, the very, very Tony Iommi right there. So this, we take those note values and we're going to do something real cool with them. We're going to see that they also exist in the next set of notes that start with the same name. G. Those are the same. All right, so we've kind of got a basic structure here of how that works. We can also extend it as we go. All right, what's the next note? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's the next one. All right, that's another. There's another, and so on. We can even do it this way. So all the notes together. Oh, you already know all that stuff? All right, well then here's the thing. We're going to take every other note and basically skip them. So if you know all this, bear with me. You get a first. You get a third. But it's going to be really hard to play it like this as a chord. So play it here. That works pretty well. What's the next one? All right, so that's a 5. That works pretty well. Now, what's the next one after that? Right? 1, 2, 3. 3, we're going to play 3. 5, we're going to play 5. 6, go to 7. All right, so we have a 7. Oh, what scale degrees from the chords? And if it's difference between major and minor. Well, okay, the difference between major and minor is the third. That's it. If you have a flat 3 in that, that's all you've got. As far as like scale degrees are concerned, now I'm not talking with like music notation. I think you figured something out. So in any key like C major, yes, for instance, you can pick any scale degree like D. Think of that as a 1. See if its third is major or minor. That will tell you if it's D, or if D in the key of C major is a minor chord. Not exactly. There's some rote memorization to be had with this as well, and here's why. So if you're playing in C major, D will be a minor simply because, well, I think I actually just figured out what you said, and yes, you're right. So, if you start from C major and played C major starting here, that is a minor third. Well, right there. So naturally, that's going to be a D minor chord. But it's yeah, that's, you kind of got it, man. Yeah. So that's the thing. Yes, yay, you. There are technically 3 major, 3 minor chords, technically, and 1 kind of whacked out, kind of diminished chord. It's called a half diminished chord. And in every like set of like Western modes. So no, in the Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, and Locrian. So that set, 5 or 7. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how I counted the 5 when there's 7 scales. But so out of all those scales, you have a major existing in Ionian, which is what we just call the major scale. Why is it the major scale? It's the major scale because it's the root of all other scales. We measure all of the other ones based on what it's doing. So again, major. If I alter anything there, let's say I play a Dorian scale instead, flat the 3rd, flat the 7. I know it sounds different, but why did I, flat the 3, flat the 7, when I could just say, well, this is the way it normally is in the Dorian scale? Well, it's not in the major scale, and because it's different than the major scale, what we're counting is different? The 3rd is different. That is flat as well, so we say it's flat because it's not that way in the major scale. We say it's sharp because it's not that way in the major scale. Same type of thing. So if I wanted a sharp 6, for instance, and not a 7, but I still wanted the natural 7, so you'd have a 6, sharp 6. Well, let's just do that. We could also call it a double flat 7 and a 7, which is usually found in diminished. I hate this kind of crap. I really, really do. They should make up their minds. But because otherwise it's just incidental. So is that a sharp 6? Sure, you can consider it a sharp 6. Why not? Enjoy it. But it's kind of just like that. So anyway, these chords I was talking about, well, it's easier to arpeggiate, but it's hard to play them all together. You can kind of fake it and take out the 5th. Yeah, it's got a 7th sound. Okay, sure. But why don't we take that 5th and let's move it up. That sounds about right. So, okay, good. Now that I'm kind of playing those two, I can do this in a couple of different ways. I still need to play the 7th, and I'm going to need to play that 3rd. So why don't I move the 3rd up an octave too? So I have here, and the 7th here, but I still need to play that, so that's the best way. Not the best way, there's several ways of playing that. That's one. That's one. Another way is here. Great stuff. Really, really great stuff. I mean, not bad, right? Have a little suspension. Very cool. I can do it that way. And that would be even more proper. But this is all skipping notes and just rearranging where you're finding these. That's it. So, going here, skip notes. All right, great, but let's really skip notes. All right, so that. Another way of doing it. Really, the easiest way is that way. It's not really there. Then, well, it would be a seventh anyway, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. There we go. And then the crazy one. Most chords have a root in them somewhere. Well, thanks, man. Let me clear that up, though. Yeah, with most all chords, I don't know of any that don't have some sort of a root in it. And even if the guitar isn't playing the root note, it's still rooted somewhere, you know. So if the bass is holding down a G, for instance, and you just go ahead and decide to play D minor or B minor, I'll just do it this way. Dude, you're just very appreciated. Don't even worry about it. And I thank you very much. But if I'm doing this, bass is holding this down. Whether I'm holding down a B minor chord or not, that tonality is G major. Let's say he goes to C. Well, you might want to change some stuff, but that's technically a different chord. So we have a flat 5, 7, and what's that? So that's a third, a flat 5, a natural 6. That's kind of a Lydian chord, isn't it? It's kind of neat. Root is the one, yeah. And so is the octave. So every time you hit an octave, which is just 8 notes away, 7 notes from the root, every time you hit an octave, you're still hitting the 1 or the root. So I could literally count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Things change a little bit, though. So if we're talking about extended chords, like, 11s and 13s, all those are 9s, 11s, and 13s. If you'll notice, those are whatever your 2nd, 4th, and 6th are, plus 7. That's what they are. So all we're doing is adding those up. So all the even numbered stuffs increment up when we're talking about chords. So if I do this 13, for instance, I always love the 13s. You have your root, you have a flat 7, you have a major third, and you have your 13. What the heck's 13? 13's a 6th. That's all it is. That's it. It's a 13. You do the same thing with an 11. 11 is here. So that's kind of the 11s and the 9s are kind of natural suspension sounds because you expect to go, like sus 4, 3, or sus 2, and then back to it. So, excuse me. I should be here. But that's really all they are. So if you have all the other notes beneath them, and you start hearing things on top of it like this, there's your suspension. And then how about a nice resolution? Either way. I'm going to go electric. I think it is time. I feel kind of warmed up. Kind of. I haven't even tested this guy out yet today, so. And yes, I'm still on the orange banger here. This is the third time I've played guitar. This guitar. Actually, I really dug. Why is my delay so delay-y today? I think that's a lot of delay. Are you? Have I talked about the virtual? Let's see. This is a keyboard-ish thing. It's a piano roll. I should have left that up. That's nice and bright. And I will again in a minute. But have I told you about the online sequencer? I think I've mentioned it a few times, but I'm not entirely sure. So, O-N-L-I-N-E, sequencer. Oh. Being playful. I think my wife's back. I'm going to have to get off of here pretty soon. But check out the online sequencer. You want to talk about, writing some fun stuff. Let's do a flute. Shall we do a flute? Let's give a little reverb on the flute. Not a lot, a little. And we'll choose reverb, like Proton, which is always fun. Isn't that nice? Maybe not that much reverb. There we go. And from there, you can figure out what you did. But, figuring stuff out that you write this way is always fun. Just trying to get the fingerings right and all that kind of good stuff. It's a neat trick. So everybody knows about the, you want to add a little bit of wonkiness to it and weirdness. Put your finger down just over the strings as if you're playing a harmonic with like the whole thing as a bar, and just kind of do that. It's fun. You can do that anywhere. So here. Don't forget to move it around, though. It makes it more fun. Fun. All right. Because people have actually returned to the house and are in the living room, probably don't want to hear me play like this. That's going to change in a few months very soon. Well, I'll be on my own, so I can play until whenever. But until next time, chaps. Zuhair, thank you very, very much for your patronage. And for everyone else, you guys, what sequencer? Oh, onlinesequencer.net. Look right up here. Check that out. Isn't it beautiful? You can do all sorts of stuff with it. Let me go real quick here to, let's see here. Let's grab a drum kit. For fun, let's do EDM. There we go. Move that here. That should be it. Thank you. Yes, but good night, everybody. Go to the online sequencer and write some stuff. Dude, thank you. It's almost nice to see your face, but you've got a mask on in your picture. Take care, everybody. Really, be well out there. I'm a lot better, and things will only be looking up from here. So, I mean, it might be really touch and go for a while until I get moved into the new place, but if everything goes well, that'll be within a couple of months. So, but yeah, take it easy, everybody. Happy Friday.